Good morning. This is JahLogic, and you're watching the Morning Rant. And I'm here with my two co-hosts, Stephon and Schoolboy. What's up, brother?
What's going on? Going on? Good to be here, man.
Yes, man. Yes. Thank you for being here. Schoolboy.
Good morning, everybody. Good to see everybody.
Yes, yes. Today we got a lot of topics for you. We're gonna try to get through them all. As you know, we give you current events and current enough events, and we try to help you come to a conclusion with those events. So we talk about them, we get to the bottom, the underlying issues, the subtext of these events, and yeah, that's how we rock it. Salute to everybody that's watching us on Facebook and YouTube. We really appreciate you. Could be anywhere, but you're here with us. Um, we pull up the first event today. Today we're going to first talk about some Karens going crazy. We haven't talked about any Karens in a while, and
Oh yeah.
I feel like the Karen stories are stacking up. So we're gonna get to the Karen. Yeah, we're gonna get to the Karens first and foremost. All right, so let's see what's popping with the Karen. Let me pull up this first article. Here we go. So this first article comes to us by way of WCYB5 News. This article is titled "Woman Fired After Viral Video Shows Her Screaming Racist and Homophobic Slurs at a Rally." So let's get into this. So this video was basically a viral video going, a video that a young lady took at a rally where people came to, I guess, counter protest Black Lives Matter movement in Tennessee. So the article reads, before I play the video, an Elizabethton woman has been fired after yelling racial slurs and homophobic slurs at a Black Lives Matter rally this weekend. Key Family Vision Clinic in Johnson City confirmed Sonia Holt is no longer an employee there. She is subject of the video that went viral over the weekend. In the video, Holt is seen chanting, "White lives matter, white lives are better." He yells at another protester, "You're a gay homosexual piece of crap who's going to burn in hell." Let's just see the video. It's a short video. Let's see Sounds crazy already, though, right?
Man, it's hilarious.
Yeah, keep going one. So let me let this little ad play out. Gonna get to this video.
Yeah, for some reason, people hear Black Lives Matter and then they hear Black Lives Matter more than anyone else instead of hearing Black Lives Matter.
But that's definitely the argument. That's definitely the argument. All right, let's see what's going on in this actual news clip that we're gonna watch for research purposes.
Homophobic slurs at a Black Lives Matter rally this weekend. Some warning here for you. Viewers may find this language offensive.
White lives matter. White lives are better. White lives matter.
Keith Vision Clinic, where she worked in Johnson City, confirms that Sonia Holt is no longer an employee there. She was the subject of this video that went viral over the weekend. She can be seen yelling homophobic and racial slurs in videos at the protesters in Covered Bridge Park.
The biggest thing to take away from this is just to realize that racism is in your community, however much you think it might not be. There were a lot of people who reached out to me saying that they didn't realize that this was happening in Elizabethton, and they didn't realize there were people like that there.
The clinic did not respond to our request for an interview.
All right, so that was Tennessee Karen. So we starting the day talking about Tennessee Karen, and well, she's been dubbed Tennessee Karen. I want to talk about this woman before we move on to the next Karen. Like, you have anything to say about that briefly, or?
School, you want to go first?
Yeah, man. It is what it is, man. Like it's one of those things where if Nick, we just saw somebody else lose their job over saying stuff that people thought was racist, and what she said was obviously she went too far when she says white lives are better. Like, come on now. Either all lives matter or all lives don't matter. What is it? Come on now.
Do you think she would have kept her job if she would have just said white lives matter too, or I don't know.
She might have been able to keep her job if she would have just said, "Hey, white lives matter." Okay, nobody's complaining about that. I don't see a problem with that. That doesn't seem like a racist statement. As much as it is a counter cry to Black Lives Matter. Okay, feel the way that you feel. Be proud about who you are. But the whole white lives are better. Like, we already know that, but Black lives still matter.
Right.
Mm.
All right. Steph?
Oh, well, one of the things I notice is when, like, it's always a counterpoint. Black lives matter, and your retort is white lives matter, right?
Right.
And the reason there's an outcry is because I feel like they feel like the needle is starting to move. When you start talking about people who of privilege and they start to have to play on an equal playing field, they I believe it's Martin Luther King who said, to your oppressor, equality feels like oppression.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So I just think they starting to realize that the ways of the old norm are going away, and it's a panic, dog. Because why show up here with that? You know what I'm saying? No one is up here at a Black Lives Matter saying, "Oh, we need to get rid of whitey." That's not how it works.
So how do you feel about the even the people who are creating more counter cries? How do you feel about the counter cries in general? Because I guess the underlying issue here is the counter cries, right? That's a good way put it.
It's only a counter cry because you don't value Black lives. It's because Black lives, in fact, don't matter, right? Because these aren't issues that you're just talking about on a normal basis. If you are just an advocate for white people in poverty or impoverished white communities, and you just want to help bring them up, that's one thing. But you're not. It's just a response to Black people. It's just like whenever Black people try to get themselves up, it's like, no, y'all don't matter. That's all it is, man.
Schoolwork. Anything in conclusion?
Yeah, I mean, since we're doing the whole like white lives matter versus Black lives matter, of course I have to throw in there. What about white on white crime?
Exactly. Right.
So you know what? If you just
They need to get the white on white crime in control. 88% of white people kill white people. It's crazy. They need to get that together.
So with that being said, we definitely gonna get into some white on white crime later in the show. If you just we talking about the Tennessee Karen who ended up losing her job from putting herself on video. And I guess what I gotta say about that is how stupid can you be in this time and day? Put yourself in video that dumb shit. I mean, I don't want to give them no tips on how to be racist or prejudiced, but how fucking stupid could you be? But then again, we live in a dumbass world, right? So I don't know.
You got to remember that those first responders, I believe they were in Mississippi or Alabama. There was two first responders, EMTs, and they had a racist podcast.
Right.
So it's like, nah, there's no depth to the idiot, to stupidity. There's no depth to it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Virginia Slim says peace and good morning. Good morning to you, good brother.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. All right, so we're gonna get on to the next Karen, and this particular Karen is hurling racial slurs at a Fort Bragg soldier, and this comes out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. So this article comes to us from Eyewitness News, ABC Channel 7, and we're gonna get into this real quick. See what we're talking about.
Thursday night, Fort Bragg soldier Diamante Ugbigia was visiting a friend here at King's Cross Apartments. He gets out his car, and here's a woman hurling racial slurs for all to hear.
This is video Ugbigia recorded from his cell phone. He walked a building over to where the woman was, and this is what he saw. A man trying to calm the erratic woman enough to get her back inside her apartment. She turns to Ugbigia, and here's what happened next.
You get the back down. I don't want anything to do with you. Don't report.
No.
Oh, you better kill that.
Hey, just stop calling on that. Let him go. Just go inside. Look, we can.
I will never black person ever in my life. Get down. And he's like taking a picture of me right now.
Because you're being ridiculous.
No, because he's stupid.
King's Cross Apartments saying they are terminating the woman's lease after watching Ubigia's viral video, saying they have zero tolerance policy for that kind of behavior. Ubigia saying her actions does not represent the American values he swore to defend.
I got deployed to Afghanistan, you know, so me coming home from Afghanistan, serving my country, you know, to come home to someone saying they hate me based off my skin color wasn't. That was the number one thing I was mad about. You know, I was like, you don't even know me. Like, you don't know if I'm in the military, what I did in Afghanistan or anything. So for you to come at me saying you hate me and I'm stupid, it was like, okay, you know what I mean?
In the next hour, the action Ubigia says he's now planning to take against the woman. In Fayetteville, Akila Davis, ABC 11 Eyewitness News.
All right, well, salute to ABC News for blurbing out the race.
Hey, but I'm not gonna skip past the black reporter who was wearing a mask with nobody around, and we couldn't even hear her on the mic. Like, come on, man. Come on, let's not be ridiculous, lady. We still need to hear you. Your audio is more important at this time.
I'm saying
that's all I'm saying.
I'm saying, like, what about the camera person? Obviously, the camera person might have been a little close to her. Yeah.
Let's not talk about my future ex-wife, please.
All right, she's off the table. But guys, what do you think about this particular situation? I'm gonna just put it out there. The woman seemed like she was drunk.
She seemed like she was drunk, but you know how that thing go. You know, a drunk mind speaks a what?
Sober tongue.
There we go. So yeah, she felt like that. She had to make sure that when she saw that black man, I will never a black man, and she almost said again and stopped herself.
She said she'll never what a black man?
Since you'll never smash another black man.
Right.
Yeah,
That's what
like she said to me. Yeah. So we go to this one comment real quick. Redemption Songs. What's up, sister? How you doing? Says not an excuse, but that looked like a mental break on her part. And
no disrespect, but when you say not an excuse, that actually in fact is an excuse. That is just her being her, right? Because what I found interesting is that you had somebody who was there trying to reel you in, like, yo, chill out, don't do that. And you kept going and you doubled down on it. So you're well aware of how you're acting and you still choose to do it. And this is, I don't know how many Karen cases we are at this point, right? But it's like, you know what happens. You know how this goes. You lose your job. You get put out. You know what I'm saying? They terminate your lease. Like, you got to understand, you can do what you want. It's just consequences for it.
Right. Schoolboy, you have that other article by any chance pulled up?
Yeah, I got it pulled up.
All right, that's what's up. That's going to go into the next Karen topic, but we got some more comments coming in. Redemption says, good morning to you, Rep.
Good morning.
And then she also says, one can be willingful and mental. So basically, I guess she's saying she's mental, but she did what she did willingly, but she was, she's losing her mind. So should we have any sympathy for people losing their mind?
She wasn't losing her damn mind. She was speaking her mind. That's the difference.
All right. Slim say, we've been fighting for this country since day one. You still hate us. For example, in the Red, some of black World War I vets were hung in their uniform.
That is true.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with that. Dolphy Production says, great rising kings. Grand rising to you.
Grand rising.
Redemption says, no sympathy. All right. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't have any sympathy. but I'm just trying to be the objective moderator of a show. I don't really have any sympathy for someone of this nature. Speaking of no sympathy, then how do you feel about this next article? We're not going to show this one. This one is actually definitely bound to get us flagged. So Schoolboy is just going to read the article, but you're going to see where we're going with this once he reads it. Schoolboy, can you please? Your mic is on Teddy Riley.
There we go. All right. So this is coming from rawstory.com. This is the headline reads, "A woman who becomes infamous for racist rants and alleged attacks gets hit by a fire truck." So a woman who's made a name for herself being caught on video spewing racism has been hit by a fire truck and critically injured, according to a report from the Citizen Times. Rachel Dawn Ruitt suffered life-threatening injuries after being struck by the fire truck on July 13th in Asheville, North Carolina. Earlier this month, Ruitt made headlines after she allegedly attacked a 14-year-old girl and ripped off a woman's hijab during a Black Lives Matter protest. One witness to the accident posted about what he saw to Facebook. He said, "I just witnessed the same lady from the video accidentally step out into traffic on Patton Avenue going towards downtown Asheville. As she was walking with traffic coming from behind her, Jonathan Royal wrote, the Asheville Fire Department truck you see in the background is a vehicle that she stepped out in front of." Ruitt, who's 41, was arrested on July 4th after ripping a woman's hijab and grabbing a teenager in the groin, telling her she needed to be put down. She was also accused of threatening to rape her. Ruitt is currently in the hospital in critical condition. And I had to hold back the laughter a little bit there because that whole story is like really crazy. It's like you would think that came out of the Mad magazine or something like that.
Like The Onion or some shit, right?
Right. Like, this can't be real. This can't actually be life. But this actually happened. And then, as we often say to people who act like this, go play in traffic. And she went in traffic and got hit by a fire truck.
Definitely the traffic. So, Redemption Soul says, again, another unhinged woman who held a bias. So this is the video that we're not going to play, and she's definitely threatening to rape this woman who's filming. She's definitely spewing a lot of hate speech. That's why we don't want to play it, because it's real direct hate speech. You know what I mean?
Hold on. In the video, she's threatening to rape the person recording?
Oh yeah, definitely. She's talking about titty fucking and all types of crazy shit to the person. Yeah. She's threatening. Yeah, so I guess that's a thing, threatening to rape people, as well as spewing, the racial slurs. So this is the woman right here. She's definitely bugged out. I think this woman right here is definitely, I don't know about the last one. The last one could have been drunk, but this one is definitely, she's definitely lost her mind, and I think that's possibly why she got hit by that fire truck. Like, definitely.
Can we give this white woman her just due credit? She pulled out all the stops. Okay, she went Black Lives Matter, racism, Me Too. She made sure no stone was unturned in her slurs. She covered all bases.
All right, so look, we got people laughing with the go play in traffic. Salute to J Doug, Dolphy. But we do have an update. So we have a comment from a Rose that says, somebody named Rose says, "Update on the racist fire truck lady. She died." So how we feel about that? Like, we just talked about having no sympathy. We talked about people being unhinged and a little crazy. Yeah, like, what's good? Like, do we care that she died, or is it just one less racist? What's up?
Hey, you act like that changed the nigga outlook on it. I thought she was dead this whole time. I been thought she was dead.
Schoolboy.
Hey, I hate to go here, man. I really do, but I don't. What's that man name? Bernie Mac. I think Bernie Mac said it best. Rest in SHIT. That's what he said. I'm just saying what he said. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay.
So check it out. This particular segment, just like Dolphy Production says she calls it karma. This particular segment is going to be called Karen's Karma. Sorry, Karen's Karma. So we got 3 Karens. One lost their life, one lost their job, one lost their apartment. All right. So
and then trifecta.
So Redemption said, I'm more concerned with Blake Neff, Tucker Carlson, Ryder. And so maybe we can get to that a little later. But right now we got a lot of topics on the table. But yeah, like we said, this is Karen's karma. We got one Karen that lost her job, one lost her apartment, and one lost her life. And I want to say the general census up here is that we don't care, right? We don't not care.
We don't. Because listen, when black people act a certain way, like when we carry on like that, a lot of times we don't lose our jobs and we don't lose our apartments. A lot of times we lose our lives. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like when we act a certain way, they call the police on us, and the police come out to do one thing: to take you out. That's let's be honest.
Right. Schoolboy.
Yeah, man, I don't really have a whole lot of sympathy on this one. You know, if you lose as a result of what you do, then that's just, your reality. It is what it is.
So let me get this straight. So you go cussing people out, saying you're gonna rape them, X, Y, and Z, then you just blindly walk in traffic?
Apparently.
Is that what happened?
Apparently.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, within a week or so, about 10 days, she was out of here. But you know what? I will say this. It might be that she really is insane, and that was a suicide, which is unfortunate. Definitely, if you're feeling like, your mind is slipping, you need to go ahead and make that phone call and get yourself some help.
Dr. Kevorkian? We'll get into it later.
No.
All right. So with that being said, I kind of want to segue that into talking about the homeboy Nick Cannon losing his job over alleged anti-Semitic statements. So if we're not going to care about these people losing their job, we want to explore to see if this situation is any different, because everyone's saying Nick lost his job, but if you ask me, he just lost a contract. You know what I mean? He is I'm not going to. He has his own brand. He has his own business. He can always take his talents elsewhere, but he lost probably the biggest contract he had up to date. Before I get into the Nick Cannon situation, I want to read the last of these comments. As far as the sympathy goes and the Karen's karma. Slim says, no sympathy, fuck a Karen. Karens have been the cause of countless deaths in our community. Emmett Till, Black Wall Street, and many more. Okay, true indeed. J. Doug Weekly says, not true. Didn't come just to take you out. That's drama. The lady had mental illness. Where's the love? That's coming from the homeboy, J. Doug. So he's referring to cops not coming just to take you out. That comment. He's countering that. So
listen, yes, they are. They may not do. Listen, they may not do it, but they coming ready to take you. They coming ready to take you up off this earth.
All right. So with that being said, let's segue into this Nick Cannon situation. Nick Cannon let go by Viacom CBS over anti-Semitic comments. This is a long article because they use a lot of his long tweet that came with it, but I'm gonna just read some of the beginning. Viacom CBS is ending a decades-long relationship with Nick Cannon after he recently made anti-Semitic comments on his podcast. The actor and TV host was joined by controversial hip-hop figure Professor Griff on a recent episode of Cannon's Class podcast, where talk turned to Black people as the true Hebrews and included anti-Semitic conspiracy theory. Viacom CBS announced Tuesday that it was severing its ties with Nick Cannon. Before the corporation released a statement to CNN saying the company condemns bigotry, of any kind, and we categorically denounce any forms of anti-Semitism. So we're going to watch this quick video where they detail apparently what was said, and it's for research purposes, not to infringe on his copyright for his podcast.
Much fear, specifically in the Black community, in the Jewish community. And I'm kind of, this is a leading question which I want to get to, but why is it such a problem to speak the truth? You speak in fact.
Exactly.
There's no reason to be scared of anything when you're speaking the truth. If we were truly the children of Israel, and we're defining who the Jewish people are, because I feel like if we actually can understand that construct, then we can see that there is no hate involved. When we talk about the lies, the deceit, how the fake dollar controls all of this, then maybe we can get to the reason why they wanted to silence you.
I'm hated now because I told the truth.
Never hate speech when it's not.
Right.
You can't be anti-Semitic when when we are the Semitic people, when we are the same people that who they want to be. That's our birthright.
That's our birthright.
Who's behind the mask? Oh my God! 6-time Emmy Award-winning
All right, there you have it. So basically, the video detailed, basically what they're considering anti-Semitic statements is basically him saying that the Black people are the original Jews, Jewish people, or Semitic people, and that basically that's what was said. And we're not going to play the whole episode, but how do you brothers feel about that? I'll let you start.
Oh, Schoolboy, you going on?
Yeah, I'll go. So I've mentioned here on this platform before that I am an actual Jew who went through a bar mitzvah as a youth. So I have a certain perspective on this. I actually got a chance to talk to a friend of mine who we both were, youths, black youths in the synagogue together when we were younger. And he had a certain perspective on it. Long story short, the fact of the matter is that if you go into any synagogue in America and you talk to a Jew who is a scholarly Jew, meaning that they've actually studied Judaism and they studied the Torah, they're going to tell you, yes, the first Jews were black. If you look in the Bible and it describes Jesus, it describes him of having skin like burnt brass, which is black, and hair like wool, which is black. It is what it is. So that's not, I don't think, anti-Semitic. He said something about the Rothschilds. The Rothschilds do have a global, at one point had a huge global banking empire. Saying that they control the banking industry isn't anti-Semitic. And a lot of Jews run or are gatekeepers in the media, which is what they were talking about. That, again, is not anti-Semitic. Like, I don't really get the whole, I hear them throwing the word anti-Semitic around, but it's sort of like, I don't know even a good analogy to make there, but I just don't think that what he was saying was anti-Semitic. I will say this: I understood what he was saying. I understood the undertones of what he was saying, and I don't think that he really expressed it fully. And he was trying to be really careful with what he said, and I think that there was some loss in translation there. I'm not willing to throw him under the bus as much as he went back and did all the backtracking and stuff like that. Look at his apology. when he gave his apology, did he explicitly apologize for something specific? No, he didn't. He just said, "I'm sorry if I made people feel a certain kind of way. That wasn't my intent." He wasn't apologizing for being anti-Semitic because he wasn't actually being anti-Semitic. And you know, a lot of people have taken little snippets of the. A lot of people have taken snippets of the podcast and they've said, "Oh, well, this is anti-Semitic. That's anti-Semitic." And I'm going to keep pressing people. Tell me exactly what he said that was anti-Semitic. I just don't see it.
Good point. On.
Hey, can I take 2 seconds to shout out my little cousin? He literally just had his baby. Shout out my cousin Jerde. They literally just had my little cousin. All right. So, but yes, what you see is you see. It's funny they say anything. How can I say this? Okay. This has been a pattern, right? Anytime you speak truth to power, there are consequences, right? Like people be like, "Oh, I'm finna get canceled because I'm speaking the truth," and then they don't get canceled. The people who really have the power is the Jewish community because they control wealth, right? And when you say stuff like that, they take that as anti-Semitic, but that's just a fact. Like they have a abundance of wealth. Like they control a lot of media. They control a lot of banking. That's just a fact, right? And then you look at Mark Lamont Hill, who got canceled. Like we barely heard a peep from this brother since he said free Palestine. I believe that's the comments he made. I'm not sure. Was it Representative Umar? She got suspended. She got suspended for saying this is all about the Benjamins, right? They said that was anti-Semitic. Deshaun Jackson just had to backpedal after saying the same thing. Nick Cannon just said that black people were the real Hebrews. Like it's a pattern, dog. So what's going to be done about it? I have no clue. What's going to change? I have no clue.
I got to agree with y'all, but so basically the synopsis of what we're saying is no comparison to what the Karens were getting canceled for, right? Is that what we're saying?
No, it's not even close.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that. He says, "Oh, y'all got sound effects now. Y'all big time." Salute. But then he says he challenged the narrative that is deeply upheld that was not anti-Semitic. Religion is always open to interpretation, and everything devolves from there. Okay. I believe we have the Morning Jay in the building. I think he wants to give us his feedback on the Nick Cannon situation. And J Doug, you there?
Got future. That's his future.
All right, so maybe he's not ready to, but I'm gonna just say this. I definitely agree with y'all that there's no comparison in what he said or what he did to the Karens. I don't think he deserves any type of, backlash, especially in the form of, losing business. But I do think that this narrative that's out there that he got fired is dangerous because as far as I know, from what I understand about his business workings is he produced Wildin' Out with his own funds. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Of course, Viacom is one of the biggest distributors when it comes to actual television content, but he, as far as I know, Wildin' Out is his own intellectual property. Of course, those other shows he were on were just gigs, but as far as like his main show, that's his. As far as I know, I could be wrong. I don't know if he sold it, but I know it's his. He put his own money into it, and it was picked up. So there's a difference between a distribution deal and when somebody just buys your project straight out. If they buy it straight out, then they can continue it even without you. So I think time will tell what's the actual business relationship he had in regards to his flagship show for his company, which is named after him, right? The Incredible, I believe, in Entertainment or something like that. So with that being said, I think time will tell what the actual business relationship he had with them is. But at the same time, I think the most important thing to get out of this is that he's not fired, and we have to support him what he decides to do. But everybody don't agree with me. So I'm trying to see if Morning Jay is ready to talk about his point of view, or J Doug. Okay, he's not ready. So speaking to the anti-Semitic part, I have a video from another actor called Brandon T. Jackson, who you may remember from a few movies. So man is champion for the Hebrew cause very much so in the past recent times. I think his hashtag is kingdom over everything. So I want to hear what he has to say in regards to Nick Cannon remarks. But before that, I'm gonna read these comments. Slim says Mark Lamont Hill used the Palestine saying at the UN. He got sat down because apparently it was anti-Semitic.
Right. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay. Right.
Mills Lane said Cannon used the word annihilation during the melanin discussion. That plus Griff lit the match to search for anything anti-Semitic. So one of you guys made a good point before we even came on the show, which was that, you know, Griff already faced backlash in the past for being allegedly anti-Semitic when he was in the group Public Enemy, which he returned to that group after that backlash. And then they also mentioned Farrakhan, somebody said in this interview. So been one of those things that, you know, lit the match. Redemption says he quit America's Got Talent years ago, citing racism. Perhaps this is a means of painting him a hypocrite. Good point. That's a real good point. I think J Doug is ready. J Doug, what's up, bro?
It's good morning. Y'all give me good?
Yeah, we hear you. Good morning.
It's amazing. How y'all doing?
Good, man. What's up, man?
We want to chime in on the Nick Cannon situation. The floor is yours.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I'm tired. First, I want to say salute to Nick. I really thought you owned Wildin' Out, nigga, but you didn't. I'm tired of black people going out, getting on these platforms, hating on white people, thinking you can say whatever you want, white people this, white people that, and then have your hand out for a white check. No, it don't work like that. When you work for white people, you don't. If white people work for me and they start talking about black people this, black people that, don't come looking for a black check. Don't come, especially if you just a worker. You're not even an owner. You 20 years in the building, you should have been owning something.
I mean, Viacom is not one of those things that's just going to give up ownership. I mean, Viacom is like one of those big parent companies that, like, you know, when we speak about distribution, there's only so many big distribution companies. You know what I mean? So
I understand.
He can't necessarily get in on that, but at the same time, he has his own company, so he is doing what he had to do to have his own company, correct?
I feel you, but Nick Cannon is part of the problem with the black community. You got people like him who stop people when they go in asking for ownership, asking to get their business right. They tell the people who the black men, no, you ain't getting it because we got Nick Cannon. He don't want no ownership. All he wanted his name and lights and shine, and he want to act like he the boss and not really be the boss. So no, we're not gonna give you a show that you on. We're gonna give it to Nick Cannon. Token Negro. Y'all always talk about token Negroes. So there you go.
So let me jump in. Let me jump in.
People are so confusing.
So now
when did y'all start liking token Negroes?
Can I finally speak?
Wait, when did J Doug start believing in token Negroes? Now you
if you want to see a poster boy for a token Negro, look at Nick Cannon. He been up there at Viacom since he was fucking 17 years old. Now you want to get older and hate on white people. Nigga, white people been good to you, nigga. Get that bullshit off your head, okay? And just go in there like you got some fucking sense. Like your parents sent you in there acting like. They didn't send you in there with that bullshit on your head.
Why he can't keep a crown on his head, man?
Man, I don't, because that's bullshit. You know, black people don't wear that dumb, silly shit. Only people wearing that shit is him and Soldier Kid. Come on now. Let's stop that.
I mean, I believe I don't know his personal beliefs. I don't know him personally. But as far as I know, he wears that in regards to his belief that he's a Moorish American. Even though the Moorish Americans I know, only the women wear those turbans, the men wear the fezzes. But I believe Stephon has something to say. Stephon?
Yeah, every time J Doug come on here with a take, he always talking about I'm tired of black people. Like, you don't ever get tired of being tired, my guy.
Yeah, I am. I'm getting there, buddy. I'm getting there. Trust me, I'm tired.
Like, and then somehow you always say that this, like, it's always this, whatever the topic is, this is the underlying issue with black people. Because once we get this right, everything else is in place.
That's not necessarily what I mean, but that is a problem that we have in the community. See, we be focused on trying to fix the wrong problem, and we don't look at the deeper rooted issues. You have these people that why the record labels tell the businessmen no, because they know it's Nick Cannons lining up that'll do stuff with our ownership. And that's why you still have people like NBA Youngboy that don't own his masters. You got Nick Cannon, don't own his show in 2020.
I was right. If he doesn't own that show, then
see, I can't speak on Nick Cannon situation, but I remember in the song Jay-Z said they'll let you run the checkup, but they'll never give you leverage. And that's the kind of thing he was speaking to.
And then I don't like the fact that he came out and he said swindled. What do you mean by swindle? Because swindle mean they went behind your back and did something. Now, if you signed the rights over to your show legally, then don't come out playing on the emotions of black people using words like, oh, I was swindled out the show. You was not swindled. You signed your rights over to the show probably 15 years ago. This is something you should have been complaining about 15 years ago, not now.
Sure ain't, but like,
it's 15
years ago.
That's what I'm saying. You should be complaining about that year one. Yo, I don't have the proper ownership that I was promised. Year one. Don't wait. Oh, now y'all look at me. Big token Negro. Help me out.
Now you just said token Negroes don't exist. You know you said that, right?
Yeah,
I do remember that.
I gotta go 2 shows prior for that conversation. I think that was episode 4. That one got really heated. Oh, man, Jay, my fault.
Yeah, but that's all I wanted to say about Nick Cannon. It's unfortunate what happened, but that's just the price of doing business, and that's just happening to everybody. It's happening to black people. It's happening to white people. White people are losing jobs for what they say. Black people can lose jobs for what they say. I'm tired of this notion that black people can't be racist or black people, what we say, because we the underclass, the oppressed people can say whatever they want to. Nah.
All right, so I'm gonna let Stephon answer that. He wants to talk the difference between prejudice and racism, real quick.
Okay. All right.
My question, before we dive into that is, do you think what he said is really that bad?
No. Like I said last night on my show, Live and On Point, I said it's an accumulation of things. It's the bullshit on your head. It's the fact that we've been taking care of you for 20-something years. You fucking want to flip the script and act like you all this. We tried to give you a chance to clean it up when we fired you from America Got Talent. You kept the dumb shit going. We done. We're done. It's like everybody don't got time to play these ghetto games.
All right,
you realize you say that every day.
I'm telling you, I'm just serious.
You better put that on the shirt. Yo, Stephon, you had something to say in regards to what he was saying as far as the race, black people can't be racist.
Right.
I mean,
well, one, racism is more than just I don't like you because of your skin. It's about literally going out my way to affect your quality of life. Right. Also, prejudice is just like you're prejudging somebody based off experiences that you've had. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember my grandmother. We was talking about interracial relationships, and she was saying she said, "I don't see why you would want to be in relationships with them after all they've done to us." Now I didn't understand that at the time because I was so young. But then you go over history, and then I realized how old my grandma was, what she lived through, what she's seen, and I get it because that she's prejudging them because of what she had experienced. You know what I'm saying? That's prejudice.
That's racist.
She don't go out of her way to hate nobody. Prejudging is prejudice. Racist is based on hate. It's different.
No, she being racist because some individuals she's seen do some isolated incidents. All right, maybe as a whole, but still she's being prejudiced.
I got to tell you how old my grandmother was.
But what if this was one of the white people that helped free us?
This wasn't.
Oh Lord.
So Schoolboy,
And
go ahead, man. Go ahead, Jay.
yeah, I want to hear what Schoolboy got to say. Go ahead, Schoolboy.
Yeah, Schoolboy, because from what I understand, racism is like a system that you have to have power to enforce. So, Schoolboy, can you enlighten us on that?
Well, no, I actually don't agree with that. I actually think that as Americans, we are born and we're giving a racial classification. So literally, if you walk out into the world and you say they have that little box of race, if you've ever put anything in that box, you're literally a racist. Doesn't mean that you're necessarily somebody who's out here trying to oppress other people or exclude other people because of race, but you engage in the concept of race. You accept the moniker or the classification of race. You're literally a racist. So everybody in America is a little bit racist. The issue comes where you say, well, I'm not only racist, but I'm willing to kill, oppress, abuse someone because of race. That's where the problem comes in. So I always say, I don't have a problem with somebody saying white power. Okay, have power in your whiteness, whatever that means. I don't have a problem with somebody who says black power. Okay, you have power because of your blackness, and that's what you feel. Express yourself that way. The problem that I have is when you step over that line and you say, well, because I'm black, I'm going to abuse and oppress somebody else. Or if you say, like we heard Karen say earlier today, white lives matter, or white lives are better than black lives, or something like that. Like, that's the problem that I have with it. Now, the other thing about it is that when we talk about systemic and institutionalized racism, that's another thing that causes problems, because it's not just that somebody's saying, well, this is a black person. Not only is that they're also saying this is a black person, they're not going to get the same rate of loan that a white person gets. They're not going to be able to live in this neighborhood because they're black. When we talk about that in relation to prejudice, that's just prejudice is something we all have. Another word for prejudice is discrimination, and there's nothing wrong with discrimination until it abuses someone else. That's the issue that I have with it. And finally, when we get back to anti-Semitism, I hear the concept of anti-Semitism is coming up, and people are saying, well, this is anti-Semitic, that's anti-Semitic, the next is anti-Semitic. Here's the thing about anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism isn't a sword that cuts one way. It's not that you can only be anti-Semitic towards Jews. You can also be anti-Semitic towards Arabs, because Arabs are Semitic people too. And the most systemic and institutionalized country in the world in terms of anti-Semitism is actually Israel, because Israel is actually systemically and institutionally abusing and oppressing the Palestinian people. Yeah, they have grievances. They have grievances, but that doesn't give them the right to do a lot of things that they do. They out here shooting men, women, and children for throwing rocks at tanks. Literally. So just for a second, think about this. The state of Israel wages periodic, full-scale warfare on the Palestinians. Here's the thing about the Palestinians: they don't have a standing police force. You know what I'm saying? If anybody else in the world did that, we would call it what it is, a low-level genocide. But because Israel does it and they cry anti-Semitism, we can't say anything about it, and that's wrong. That's wrong as heck, man. Like I can't really justify. Even like I said, as a member of the tribe, somebody who's been in that community, I've been to Shabbat service and give my Shabbat shaloms and things like that. However, when we sit down, and I've done this before.
I know you felt silly as hell.
No. Here's the thing: when I sit down with the elders in that community, and they come out with the comments about bless Israel and bless Israel's military, I've asked, okay, let's bless Israel's military. Now, can you tell me why it is that we feel justified in launching full-scale warfare against the people who don't have a standing army? And it's very hard to get an answer, and usually there is no answer besides the fact that, well, it's just war. That's just what it is. But how do you wage war on somebody who doesn't have an army? You know what I'm saying? You're just bullying people.
See, you ain't never seen The Last Airbender?
I don't know what that's.
Took out the whole Wind Nation,
right,
Airbender Nation.
Yeah,
they ain't have an army. Yeah, shit like that.
Yo, so let me read some of these comments, and then I'm gonna get into the anti-Semitic notion, what that means, and as far as the words coming from Brandon T. Jackson, actor. Redemption Song 76 says, acting upon an inherent bias to suppress others. That's what racism is to her. Well, in general, Slim says racism comes from a view of superiority over another race. All right, so I'm gonna go into this video. I don't know if J-Dub you're gonna stick around, but this is Brandon T. Jackson. This is an actor you might remember.
I might want to see this. Oh,
yeah, he's seen this. I've seen it too.
man, I'm tired of man, boy. Black people need to wait.
You tired of everything,
boy. Brandon T. Jackson is not too far away from Orlando Brown. Y'all realize that, right?
Well, you know what? That's another point I wanted to say in regards to Nick. I'm actually proud of Nick from someone who came out young and still, to me, I'd rather see him go conscious than go crazy and go full crazy like some of these other child actors. You feel me? So, anyway, so let's see what Brandon T. Jackson has.
Hello, this is Brandon T. Jackson from the Kingdom, and I wanted to express my deeply concerns about the anti-Semitism that's going on in this country, and I wanted to talk to you guys about what it means to be anti-Semitic and tell you guys what it means to be Semitic, or as we know it as Shemitic. So Noah had 3 sons, Ham, Shem, and Japheth. These were the 3 sons after the flood. Now, if you don't believe in religious texts or texts that has to do with God or whatever, it's fine, just so you understand the history. It's not a Bible lesson to convert, but just to understand what it means to be Shemitic. What it means to be Shemitic is to be from the bloodline of Shem, of one of the 3 sons of Noah. When God destroyed the earth, God told Ham, Shem, and Japheth, he gave them each bounds of the land to inhabit. Now, when you say you're anti-Semitic, they're referring to the bloodline of Shem, the same bloodline that Christ came from, the same bloodline that David came from, and the same bloodline that the Jews, that we come from. Now, we're saying that every Hebrew looks like us. We're saying that every Hebrew comes in all different shapes and sizes. You can't put a Hebrew by the color, but the Hebrew is by the bloodline of the father, according to the scriptures. Now, according to certain customs, they say it's the mother, but that's not true according to what the scripture says. God said through the seed of Abraham, through his seed, I mean his bloodline, that we will all be blessed. Our nations will be blessed through our grandfather's bloodline. So when you say you're anti-Semitic, you're really saying you're against the bloodline, not the religion, the bloodline of Shem. Let me read from an Ashkenazi bloodline who's from Japheth. Rabbi De Eleazar, who is a non-melanated person who follows the faith of the Hebrews, was one of the most famous Hebrews that follow the traditions of the Hebrews, one of the most famous rabbis ever, and he's not melanated. This is his words. A tradition to which both, listen, the Semites and the descendants of Ham were black. In Hebrew means shakur. Japheth being the only white son of Noah, and is found in rabbinic Hebrew traditions as well. So this is the 8th century Perkei de Rabbi Eleazar. Every rabbi knows Perkei de Rabbi Eleazar. Every Jewish rabbi knows who this is. His word says that the sons of Noah, both Semites and descendants of Ham, were black. And we also have it in Hebrew, as is right here. So I'll post both of these in Hebrew, and I'll post both of them in English. So that's what it means to be an anti-Semitic person. It means that you're the bloodline of Shem. And according to the De Perkei Rabbi De Eleazar, who is a Ashkenazi, which is the bloodline of Japheth, that is what you call anti-Semitism, when you hate the bloodline of Shem. Rabbi Eleazar said the bloodline of Shem is black. It's a non-melanated
follower
of the Hebrew faith. If we are followers of the Hebrew faith, why do we have to put a color on it, guys? Why, when the Hebrews from the bloodline of Shem and the followers of the Hebrew faith, why is it always a problem when we come into our bloodline? It's like if we made hip hop, we forgot what it was. And then people who follow hip hop, they came, they call themselves the hip hop ish people. And the hip hop ish people hates the hip hop people. Please, guys, we stand by our brothers and sisters against hate against our people, the bloodline of Shem. Thank you. Do your research for yourself. Ham and Shem were black, and Japheth was white. It is okay. We love all followers of the Hebrew faith. Because if you follow the Hebrew faith and the spirit of the Yahushua Christ, you too can be saved. Thank you very much. Kingdom of everything. I think they're coming.
Hey, can I say one thing real quick, and then I'm gonna roll out?
Yeah, man. Go ahead. Do your thing.
This proves what I was saying yesterday, why black people don't need to be learning no history. All right, this is what happens when black people learn history. All right, this is where they take it, and that proves me. It proves it. Everything I say, it's been proven. He's out of control. He obviously out of his damn mind. He's not in the present. He's living in. He's trying to go back to live in the past.
Why is he out of his mind? Why is he out of his mind? I don't understand.
Logic, come on now.
Why?
That guy is whacked out.
He posed the question. He said, "Why is it when we come into reclaim bloodline, we looked at as we're crazy?" And I'm posing that same question.
It's not that you. Could you just doing it for? You don't have a reason to be doing what you're doing. You're just doing it because you hate white people. That's why.
Because you hate white people, or because we got our history stolen or lost, and we're trying to find that history.
Our history is not walking around in the costume. That's what you got to understand. Our history is not walking around in the costume, dog. Our history, God want us to live in the present and live from within, bro. God don't want us making up costumes and walking around those fake candle holders. They talk about this our stuff. That's dumb and petty. And that's why we don't get nothing done as black people, because you got too many black people that want to do too many different other things. You got people, I want to be a Hebrew Israelite. No, I want to be a 5%er. Oh no, I'm buried in the blood of Jesus. Oh no, I'm over here with the Muslim. Oh, I can't go over there with the Muslim. I got to be over here with Jesus Christ. No, I'm a real Jew, so I'm not going over there with them Christians. They don't like
but hold on, bro.
What's going on with black people?
Bro, it literally sounds like you're criticizing the black community for having different religions. That's literally what everybody else does.
No, not necessarily.
But that's the problem with the black community. Too many religions. We need to stick. That's right. We need to just get one to stick to.
Yes, if it's one God, it ain't all these gods. If it's all these gods, goddamn. But I gotta roll out because white people, what nigga not doing? I lose my job talking about these Jews, nigga. I ain't Nick, nigga. I ain't dumb. I'm gonna stay on my shit, nigga. You feel me? I ain't gonna lose my job on no podcast. You ain't over no podcast. You feel me? Thank you. I'm smarter than Nick.
Thank you for checking in. All right, I'm gonna read some of these comments, and then I have a question for Schoolboy in regards to this, because Schoolboy is a member of the tribe. His words, not mine. Redemption says, "Wasn't he in Tropic Thunder?" Yeah, that's him. Yeah, that's him. Before healing, black people have the ability to learn and grow in different ways. Let's not blow some options based on that. I agree. Then we get some question marks from Redemption Song. She says this is some weird shit, and I think that's in regards to like what Jay does. People get thrown off with the costumes, I guess. Excuse me. Yeah, Evan X says that bloodline question is legitimate. I believe so as well. Ms. Lane says, Mills says, looking for black history is a crime in 2020. I feel like it's always since we came to this country unwillingly. Those of us who came unwillingly and not the ones who we're related to who came originally. Since they tried to take your history from you, they didn't want you to read. They didn't want you to use your native tongue. They didn't, they would separate you by where you were from, so you can't, keep that history alive. So it's always been a crime, and unfortunately, it's still not normalized. Evan X says, "Peace to the nation of the 5%. Peace." Redemption Song says, "Right, Mills." And Mills also says, "If there was only one tribe in Africa, then we could be on one accord." And that's a good point. There wasn't just one tribe in Africa. That is a whole continent. Schoolboy, I want to ask you this because as a member of the tribe, as somebody who took your Shabbat, you said, right, and had a bar mitzvah and things of that nature, I don't know if I'm saying things wrong, but my question is, what is a slur? Like, is saying Jew a slur? Or like, how are we supposed to refer to the people of the Hebrew faith, whether they from the Ashkenazi converts or Black Hebrew Israelites or whatever? Because really, I just don't want YouTube to flag us. But I am curious. What is the slur? Is calling them a Jew a slur? Or I don't understand.
I don't really think that they're so personally. I've never been discriminated against because I tell somebody I'm a Jew and they're like, "Oh, you're a Jew." Like I've never experienced that. I'm always discriminated against because I'm black. Period. Nobody's asking me, "Well, how do you worship God?" Okay, that's the reason why we're going to discriminate against you. And like I said before, and I've said this on Facebook, I've said it online publicly. Listen, Jewish people in this country, unfortunately, like they not unfortunately, but Jewish people in this country will say, well, this is anti-Semitic, everything's anti-Semitic, but there's no systematic and institutional move to exclude them and discriminate against them and abuse them based on them being Jewish. Until they open up their mouth and tell somebody, hey, I'm Jewish, or they're wearing a yarmulke or something like that, nobody knows that they're Jewish. They just look like white people. Like, nobody really knows. So I'm not sure what the slur is. Like, the Jew means that you're from the tribe of, you're from the tribe of, or descended from the tribe of Judah, or, associated with that tribe in some way. So we call them, or even in, from the word Judaism. So they get Jew. And then if you participate in those customs and things like that, they call you Jewish. So I don't understand how describing a people is a slur. So when people call us black, we don't consider that a slur. You know what I mean? Like, I know that there are other words that people use to disparage Jewish people, but come on, it's not. You can't. Basically, they've tried to basically say, well, if you say anything about us and we also don't like what you say, we're gonna call that anti-Semitism. That's not like that's a really slippery slope. That means that anybody can go into a newspaper and say, well, Schoolboy said, regardless of what I said, Schoolboy said X, Y, and Z. We think that's anti-Semitic. So now I got to lose my whole job because somebody says that what I said was anti-Semitic. It's not anti-Semitic. It's not anti-Semitic just because somebody say so. There's other media personalities here online that say there's a rule that's called I'm white and I say so. So basically, it doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to be logical. None of this stuff has to be true. It's just because I'm white and I say so that it makes it true.
All right. So basically, in short, that just saying Jew is not a slur, is what you're saying.
No, that's not a slur. Jews call themselves Jews proudly.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna read these couple comments that's coming in. P. Williams says J. Doug needs to change his name to number 10. That some people would get that in the sector of YouTube that Schoolboy and I and J. Doug come from. Redemption Song says they are attacking the thought, not a slur. Backwards. Okay, that's a real good point. So we're gonna move on to this next topic. Unless Stephon, you have anything to say in conclusion on this topic?
I did. One of the comments said something. It is a crime to learn your to be black and learn your history. One of the comments said that.
Yeah, one says it's a crime to learn Black history in 2020. Yes,
right. It's this book by Chancellor Williams. It's called "Destruction of a Black Civilization," and it talks about literally how we were stripped of our culture and or accomplishments, and literally how they took. How back in the day when they would overthrow your kingdom, they would take credit for any invention or any progress that was made in your kingdom during that time. And it was literally whitewashing before, before we call it now. But that's what they would do. Like Cleopatra, like when she got overthrew, they came in and they took credit for everything that she had accomplished. But that's it, man. I ain't gonna stay on that too long.
All right,
Hey,
so
one last thing. One last thing. One of the things that's getting lost in this conversation, because I think, and I think it's intentional, what Nick and Griff were discussing at the time that they are claiming all this anti-Semitism and racism happened was the ISIS papers by Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, who was a clinical psychiatrist when she was alive, who wrote books, etc., about the psychology of the white race in regards to the black race. Because the question is always for black people, why are white people so racist towards us? She tried to answer that question in a clinical way, and she wrote the ISIS papers as a result. And I mean, I'm looking up reviews of it. It's a highly reviewed document. I'm trying to see criticisms of it in the academic world. I haven't found any. Of course, hit me up in the inbox if you have the criticisms of that book. But because I'm not finding criticisms of the book, and oftentimes we see this as opposed to counter arguing a certain article that might be that's true, they just ignore it and act like it's not there. And then they say, well, that's a conspiracy theory. Well, then disprove it if it's a conspiracy theory. That's not what's happening.
well, rest in power to that sister. And Redemption Song says, great book. And what I want to say in conclusion in regards to conspiracy theories, because they did not just accuse Nick of saying something anti-Semitic. They said he was spewing conspiracy theories. In this country, people who look like me get arrested all the time under the pretense of conspiracy as an actual charge. So I don't think it's wrong for the people to, come up with conspiracy theories as well, to talk about what can be done to them or what might be going on based on, how they feel things are set up in their own life. I think we that sometimes it may go too far, but like I said, there's people doing actual jail time. So the least we can do is explore these conspiracy theories without being chastised for them. So this next article comes to us from Revolt, and this one is it's not good news at all. There's a sister who apparently got hands put on her. So it says white couple arrested for attacking black hotel worker and calling her a monkey. So I'm gonna read a little bit of the article and then I'm gonna let the actual video speak for itself. A white New York couple was arrested after being on the run following an attack on a black hotel employee in Connecticut. According to ABC News, Philip and Emily were extradited back to Connecticut on Monday, July 13th. They were accused of attacking Crystal, a black hotel employee, during their stay at a Quality Inn. The couple reportedly approached her after complaining about the temperature of the water in their hotel room. They were seen on the hotel surveillance punching and kicking and throwing Cadwell on the ground. After the attack, the pair walked off as other people came to help the victim. She sustained a concussion as well as injuries to her eye, back, and knee. So this is crazy. I'm going to show the footage for research purposes, and we're going to see what's going on here. All right, so this is camera footage, and this is not for the weak of heart. Oh, yeah, I wasn't feeling that. Looks like the video has some more time to it. It looks like this man is standing in the way. Talking to you, men, how do you if this was you, if you were able to stand in the way, would you have stand in the way, or would you found yourself getting revenge off
Man,
the roof?
let me tell you something. That whole ice machine would have been on top of both of them folks. I'm not even playing. Like that's
Right,
not a. You're beating on this woman. Not only is she a woman, but she's an older woman. It's
right,
not like she's a young woman who can take all that throwing her around and stuff like that. The other thing about it is this: when the police came, they didn't arrest these people. They had to go back to New York to go grab these folks.
right,
If that would have been you or me beating up on some old white ladies, we would have both been in jail that night. We arrest him first, maybe kill him, and then we'll ask questions later.
right.
So that they're super wrong for that. Um, I just can't believe that. And then all the people that were there, they were just, oh, hold on, wait. We don't want to get in the middle of it, but just don't hit her anymore. No, no, no. Detain those people. Don't let them leave. Give your statements and make sure those people are arrested. Like if I saw anybody's grandmother, I'm not racist. If I saw someone's white grandmother getting beat up by some black people, I'm not gonna let them just get away. No, no, no. Y'all got to stay here and atone for that. You know what I mean? Like you have to be held accountable for that. I don't know why everybody like for some reason when black people are abused, a lot of people have no problem standing around and saying, "Well, we don't know all the facts."
Right.
It's
Listen.
annoying.
All
Yeah,
right.
I agree. Mills
Yeah.
says, "Dude is a straight bossy." Says kind. Facts, and Redemption says facts. Exactly. My fault, Stephon. Go ahead.
No, you good, man. No, actually, I agree. I agree, dog. Like the days of sitting around and just not protecting women, that shit dead. That shit need to been dead. Like it is one thing when something happens and you're not around, but it's a whole nother thing when it happens in front of you. And then like he said, you just standing in between. Nah, go get on that. Go, for lack of better words, like go get on that motherfucker ass, man.
Yeah. You need to be knocked the fuck out. You don't got to be held until the cops come. He gonna be asleep. He got to sleep till the cops come. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
because we've seen people in parking lots pull guns on people for allegedly shoplifting.
Right.
They literally witnessed this man commit a felony upon this woman and just stood there talking to them. Like, what are you afraid of?
Do you remember Karen, the Karen at the Target who was trying to stab people for looting?
Yeah, she was in a wheelchair.
Right? You were willing to stab people for $1 million corporation who has insurance and ain't worried and don't need your help. But yeah, is a woman getting beat up and everybody's just like, whoa, and do nothing. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, I want to say that's to me, that's what a liberal is. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the concept of a liberal is someone who's just like, yeah, well, what you're doing is wrong, but that's your, but you have the right to. But I'm gonna say that I don't agree with you. You know what I mean, publicly, but I'm not going to necessarily stop you. You know what I'm saying? How do you feel about that?
That's what it means to be liberal.
To me, that's what liberal is. You know what I mean? Like,
I vehemently disagree. I believe that's just a coward.
That's just a
right.
Coward. Okay.
That's all it is.
I was just saying that's to me, like I feel like that's what in my mind that's the same thing as what a liberal's doing. Metaphorically speaking, you know what I mean? It's like they're standing there saying you need to stop, but they're not going to do the actual work to stop. You know what I mean? To make it stop. You know, feel me? Like I feel like that's to me how I look at liberal. But go ahead, Schoolboy.
I was just gonna say, man, that whole video really burns me. Every time I see it, I have a problem with it. And not only do I have a problem with that, is that they always say, well, let's wait for the facts to come out. But they also and then you know they escorted these people to the hospital, and then the police there. Hold on one second. I had an alarm go off, but they escorted these people to the hospital, and then the police say, well, we couldn't keep eyes on them. Come on, bro. This is why we say that the police are systemically racist. Because how the hell do you have two adults assault an elderly woman and you don't keep eyes on them to complete your investigation?
Right.
And then they tried to claim that they were assaulted by this woman. Come on now. So both of y'all beat this woman up, and she just such a big hulking character that y'all both had to assault her beat her into the ground, kick her in the head. And the police say, okay, well, we lost track of them, and they ended up going to a whole other state. So how many public resources and tax dollars had to be spent to extradite those people from I think it was Connecticut or whatever, or New York?
Back to Connecticut.
Yeah, back to Connecticut. How many resources were used in that?
Right.
So the police not doing their job, and it's like we just are reminded that the current system of policing in America comes from slave patrols. That's not a conspiracy theory. That's not me saying it because I want to prove a point. That's from congressional testimony. It was confirmed by an expert witness on policing who came to Congress, and when asked by the Congress people, is it true that our current system of policing comes from or is a derivative of slave patrols? The answer was yes. So it just is what it is. So when we talk about defunding the police, and I won't talk long on this, but we talk about defunding the police department. We talk about the structural things that need to happen, and people keep saying they just need training. Training to do what? To be better police officers? To be better slave patrol people? Like to better oppress people? Like what kind of training do they need? No. If their job is to deliver people to justice, write your tickets, write your summonses. You know, if you see somebody actually assaulting somebody or inflicting bodily harm on somebody, help those people out. But as far as you being judge, jury, and executioner on the street level, that's dead.
Talk your shit, schoolboy.
I want to send a shout out to Satsuki. I know her as Fancy. She sends the support by way of Cash App. I want to salute to her. You know, and as you see on the screen, everybody's name is also their Cash App. So if anybody wants to, you know, send support to any one of the hosts, feel free to do so. Especially if you like, you know what they're saying, if you agree with them.
Logic. I know this ain't on topic. I think we discussed this. My car got stolen, right?
Yeah, I remember you said that in your show on Live No Point.
Yeah. They found my shit, and nah. They only found my shit because it was in the middle of the highway. It was total. Niggas totaled my shit. They had a tow company pick it up.
Oh man, so you good? Like, insurance gonna cover it? Like, what's up?
Oh yeah, the insurance will cover it. It had full coverage. It'll be okay.
All right, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. I see a comment that didn't pop up in the system yet, but I see it in the live chat. It says also many of the police forces have been trained by Israeli military units, and that's coming from Slim. So I think that's in regards to Schoolboy's point. So speaking of police training and violence, we're going to get into this next topic that's coming to us by way of thehill.com. Arkansas police officer allegedly shot colleague after threatening to shoot protesters. So I'm going to read a little bit of this actual article, and I'm going to play this video. So an Arkansas police officer who threatened to shoot at any protesters who showed up on his doorstep now faces a manslaughter charge after he fatally shot a fellow officer who knocked on his door. This is really ironic. So BuzzFeed says reported Sunday that 33-year-old Calvin is charged with 1 count of manslaughter over the fatal June shooting of 36-year-old Scott Hutton. An arrest affidavit obtained by the news outlet revealed that Hutton was shot at an angle through both Steyer's front door and glass storm door. So he shot through 2 doors in Alexander, Arkansas. Slater said after the shooting that he saw someone with after the shooting that he saw someone with a gun on his hip when he looked through the people of his front door in Indian County on the evening of June 3rd, my birthday. Slater said when he then drew his gun and accidentally discharged it while attempting to move the weapon from one hand to another. Let's watch this video and see.
An Arkansas police officer who threatened to shoot any protesters who showed up on his doorstep now faces a manslaughter charge after he fatally shot a fellow officer who knocked on his door. BuzzFeed News reported Sunday that 33-year-old Calvin Salyers is charged with 1 count of manslaughter over the fatal June shooting of 36-year-old Scott Hutton. An arrest affidavit obtained by the news outlet revealed that Hutton was shot at an angle through both Salyers' front door and a second glass storm door in Alexander, Arkansas. Salyers said after the shooting that he saw someone with a gun on his hip when he looked through the peephole of his front door in Salem County on the evening of June 3rd. Salyers said he then drew his gun and accidentally discharged it while attempting to move the weapon from one hand to the other.
So basically, they just saying the same thing that I read. How do you feel about this, fellas? I know we talked about sympathy earlier. We spoke about police training. Here's a man, an officer, who claimed that he was going to shoot protesters and end up shooting his own fellow officer, who, might I add, was a white man as well. They both were white males. And, he fatally injured one of his own. How do we feel about that? Do we have sympathy for either or?
Yo, so I saw the article and I saw the actual place where he shot. This man was living in a trailer, bruh. Nobody's running up on trailers to protest in front of your trailer, bruh. And nobody's coming to your house to break into your trailer, bruh. Like, he knew that. He just wanted to shoot somebody through his door like he said he wanted to. Premeditated murder, like somebody just commented. He's supposed to go to jail for a long time for that. And not only that, he shot a police officer.
Yeah. Do you think he would have got the same charge if it was a black officer?
Probably not, just because our system of policing is based on protection of white supremacy. That's a fact.
Stephon?
He should be punished to the full extent of the law. No mercy should be shown. Just like any time a thug kills a outstanding police officer on duty. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's what we do, to people who kill cops, to cop killers, then let's keep it going, keep the ball moving, get that criminal off the streets. And to think he was out here terrorizing our communities, because he could have been patrolling it, not with that attitude. No.
Right. Yeah, I see the comment now. Gregory says premeditated murder. Yeah, man, he definitely wanted to kill somebody. He definitely was trigger happy, and the fact that he put it out there that he was going to shoot somebody at his doorstep and did so, they got to take that into consideration. Same question though. Do you think if he was a black officer, you think he would get the same charge, or they would like use the stereotype of us being scary and all that to justify his excuse?
Well, it's hard to say, because there was a case in Texas where it was a off-duty cop who was shot by a on-duty cop, and he explained, "Hey, I'm a cop," and showed him his badge, and they still kept shooting. So it's hard to say, man. And no charges were ever brought up, right? So
yeah. So Slim says again, zero sympathy. I hate you, Slim. Schoolboy, you there with us? I don't know. It looks like he stepped away. However, I feel like this next story is pretty interesting. It comes to us from ABC 7. And basically, let me get it on the screen for you. Married Trump. The president's dysfunctional upbringing created a dangerous situation for America. For married Trump, who is related to so I remember when Trump first won the election, I seen some jokes go around that, people with the Trump last name should be ashamed, that this guy's in their family. And apparently that's the case with this particular person. I think it's his niece. So yeah. She's snitching. She's snitching on the whole family history. And she wrote a tell-all book. So basically, Mary Trump says her psychopathic grandfather led a dysfunctional family and turned her uncle, President Donald Trump, into a damaged man who poses a threat to America. The president's only niece spoke to ABC's News chief anchor George, and in an exclusive interview following her memoir, Too Much and Never Enough, How My Family Created the World's Most Dangerous Man. So I'm going to play a little bit of this actual exclusive. I think it's an exclusive. I would like to hear what she got to say talking about her family. And yeah, we're not going to play the whole thing because it's about 8 minutes long, but we're going to get into it and see what she has to say about President Trump and their actually bloodline.
Then he would probably, yes.
When was the last time you really looked out the window? What do you see?
Okay, so I rewind.
What I said, they hitting you with the ads.
Yeah, man. Yeah, they definitely getting their money off of these views. But here we go. It's about to start, and I'll say another few seconds. And how do you feel about this real quick? Do you feel like she should have snitched on her family or what?
I thought you were going to ask me how I feel about Schoolboy taking a shit break in the middle of the show. Because you could have gave us a heads up.
Right, brother. This is not true. I'm not taking a shit.
He's a sociopath.
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
He had no empathy. He was incredibly driven in a way that turned other people, including his children, his wife, into pawns to be used to his own end. If somebody could be of service to him, then he would use them. If they couldn't be, he excised them. And in my father's case, tragically, he was not of use.
You write, Donald, following the lead of my grandfather, and with the complicity, silence, and inaction of his siblings, destroyed my father.
Yeah, that was hard to write. Much harder to witness.
You say that was a hard sentence to write. I left out the next sentence.
Okay.
I can't let him destroy my country.
Yes. That sounds pretty arrogant. So let me explain what I mean. I feel, as I write in the book, that there are so many parallels between the circumstances in which my family operated and in which this country is now operating. I saw firsthand what focusing on the wrong things, elevating the wrong people can do, the collateral damage that can be created by allowing somebody to live their lives without accountability. If I can do anything to change the narrative and to tell the truth, I need to do that because I don't believe the American people had the entire truth 4 years ago.
Why didn't you write the book 4 years ago?
I thought long and hard about saying something. I knew that if I had said anything, I would have been painted as a disgruntled, disinherited niece who just wanted her 15 minutes, which obviously is still being said about me now.
That's exactly what the White House says. They say it's a book of falsehoods that you're writing out of financial self-interest. Basically, you're lying for money.
If I had wanted money or revenge, I would have done this 10 years ago when it was infinitely safer, but neither one of those things interested me.
You do write that he once had a spark of kindness.
Yeah. I think he did. One of the unforgivable things my grandfather did to Donald was he severely restricted the range of human emotion that was accessible to him, which makes it incredibly...
What does that mean?
It means that certain feelings were not allowed.
Like?
Sadness. The impulse to be kind, the impulse to be generous, those things that my grandfather found superfluous, unmanly.
Your father got very ill, deathly ill, and you get a phone call from your grandfather.
I remember that conversation verbatim. My grandfather got on the phone. He said, "Your dad's sick." Like, oh, is it serious? Oh, he's in the hospital, but it's not serious. Okay, but why am I calling you at 10 o'clock on a Saturday night if it's not serious? I was thinking to myself. So I said, well, is it his heart? because he had had open heart surgery 3 years earlier at the age of 39. And he said, yes, it's his heart. And I said, well, then it is serious. Yes, it's serious, but don't worry about it. Call your mother in the morning. And as I found out 2 minutes later, when I called my mother to find out what was going on, my father had died 2 hours earlier.
More or less alone.
Completely alone. Obviously with strangers surrounding him, but no family.
You write that his brother went to the movies?
Yes. Yeah, that shocked even me when I heard about it. You know, it was bad enough. It was probably worse, honestly, that my dad's parents just sat in the library in the house waiting. I will never know why they didn't go to the hospital to be with their son.
All right, so to echo one of the comments that came in last, they said they ordered the book and after the interview because the interview was so boring. You know, I thought the interview would have been a little bit more, spicier than that. But basically, I want to correct myself. I said psychopath, but it's sociopath. That sociopathic is what she alleged her grandfather was. But at the same time, what I did get out of it is she just basically saying they inherited, a lot of bad traits from their family. I mean, who hasn't? You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to pass the mic to Stephon. What do you think about her spilling the tea on?
I guess we would have to buy the book because she ain't said shit in that little interview. Like one of the comments said, that was relatively boring and long-winded, and she didn't seem necessarily prepared for her own interview about her book. It seemed like the interviewee was more comprehensive of her book than she was, if I'm just being totally honest. Another thing is it's hard to keep looking at her. I'm just keep it a buck with you. So that's an ugly family. It's hard to keep looking at them for too long. You know what I'm saying?
So that goes to one of the other comments somebody said. I think it was Slim. Here it goes. He said, "Damn, she looked like Trump with a wig." So I guess we're gonna have to agree with you there. Redemption says her book is arriving tomorrow. Excited to read. And Mills Lane says, "Look at that face." I think.
Now listen, don't buy the audio book, and if you do, I hope she's not narrating it because she's gonna put you to sleep. She is.
Yeah, she wasn't.
She is not TV.
Yeah, she wasn't saying nothing. I thought she would have had a little bit more insight for us, but like I said, all she basically said was they're guilty of having problems in their family, which I feel like every family has.
I thought she would have hit one like, Donald Trump used to my mother used to cheat on my father with my uncle. I like some dirt, like nigga, nothing happened.
Yeah, she could have also, told us how he peed the bed or some shit like that. That was
something.
So Gregory says he was a good buddy of Jeffrey Epstein, who also lived the life of a man with no boundaries or moral compass. Yeah, we're gonna have to agree with you there. Yo, Schoolboy, are you still with us? Or are you taking a shit? Schoolboy, you taking a shit?
No, I'm still. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. What did you feel about this?
All right.
This preview of this book. I think I still might get the book though. But
I'm interested in getting the book myself. And honestly, I think that what she did was she's trying to show you all, and she's trying to show I shouldn't say you all, but she's trying to show the country where this man comes from. What is the foundation of his activity? And we know, the public knows that Donald Trump and his father were both litigants in an anti-discrimination lawsuit in 1973, not renting to black tenants. And those of us from New York remember that Trump is known as being a slumlord who doesn't pay his contractors. So it's not like we don't know that there's something wrong with that family. Now we understand more so what the details of that wrongness is. I mean, to let your child die in the hospital alone and you don't go and check on them, like that's a diabolical family, and that's where he's coming from. So I actually thought that spilled a little bit of tea. She's not, the prettiest woman. She's not super exciting to look at, but I'm glad that she did this because when the history books are written, they're not going to be able to say, well, nobody in Donald Trump, everybody in Donald Trump's family loved him because that's what you'll
The reception in your bathroom is horrible.
get if you look at whatnot.
The reception, we can hear you. I think we got the gist of what you're saying, but we couldn't really, make out fully the last few things you said. Yeah, he's about to come back on, I guess. So, Redemption says also Roy Cohen was a buddy. The HBO doc was very telling. Okay, Schoolboy, you're back. You with us?
Yeah, my bad. I'm on the T-Mobile or whatever. But anyway, yeah, I'm glad because the history books are gonna now read that everybody in Trump's family wasn't with it. If you look at the White House and what's coming out of the White House, you would think that everybody in his family loves him. And the fact of the matter is, that's the part of the family that everybody's really embarrassed about. It just so happens that he spoke to a lot of the ignorance and foolishness in his country, so he became president. That doesn't make him a good person. And I'm glad his niece is putting him under the table.
Right. So,
all right.
Redemption Song 76 says, agree. I didn't hear her divulge much. After all, she is selling a book. Exactly. Like, come on, give us something. Slim says the sad thing is that his base will still follow him no matter what information is released. That's a fact. And Redemption agrees with Slim as well. It says true Slim. So basically, if you're just tuning in, this is the Morning Rant hosted by JahLogic, Stephon, Schoolboy, and J Doug, who was on earlier. We spoke about Karen's going crazy. We spoke about them losing their jobs, homes, and life, and in the midst of wilding the fuck out and losing their minds, and
rightfully so.
Yeah, and speaking their minds. And then we spoke about Nick Cannon losing a contract with Viacom, not a job. Nick Cannon works for himself. However, when you're creating content, it's all about your distribution, right? So we just spoke about Nick Cannon losing his contract with Viacom over alleged anti-Semitic accusations. We spoke about Brandon T. Jackson, his take on what anti-Semitic is. And I'm sorry, Stephon, did you want to say something?
No, I was going to ask you because we never talked about what was next for Nick Cannon, like because he's still doing the the singer show, whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm.
But like you think he gonna start up another version of Wildin' Out and just pretty much hit the road?
So this is the thing. From what I'm told about Nick Cannon, he's very down to earth. He's open to network with people. He puts everyday people who are grinding on. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think he's very forward thinking. I don't know if he sold Wildin' Out to Viacom in the first place, so I don't want to speak on what I don't know. But I think what's going to happen next is going to tell us if he sold it. That's one thing. Like if the show continues without him, then we know he sold it. If he continued on his own on another network or tries to create his own network, then we'll know that. But
my bad.
No,
I was saying even if he did sell the show, right, you can create something like because it's essentially a parody show, right?
It's a variety show. Yeah.
Right. So you can get another. You can do it again. You know what I'm saying? And plus, it's like if they tried to do Wildin' Out without Nick Cannon, it's like doing. It's like doing goddamn
Going in Living Color without Keenan, but they still did it.
It's like doing rap battles without Smack. You can copy the format, but you can't duplicate respect. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not the same. It's gonna flop. They're gonna get rid of it. Really, if anything, it would be best that they worked out a contractual deal, like where money's exchanged to give the name to Nick.
Yeah. Instead of trying to keep it going. I hear you.
Right.
Mills Lane says Sean Combs of Revolt reached out to Nick, and Redemption says Diddy said come home. So this is my thing. I agree with you. I'm someone who likes authentic, grassroots, movements. I feel like there's magic in different shows. I feel like this show has magic. You know what I'm saying? you can't fake the magic. You know what I'm saying? You can take a formula, but you can't fake the magic that the people bring when they come together and create something from scratch, right? However, like I said, Living Color, Chappelle Show, they didn't do it for many seasons, but it has been done where people will take your show and the audience will still watch. You know what I mean? Like the audience is not necessarily as loyal as we would like to believe, not like that maybe we are or that we would like them to be. You know what I mean? Like if continue that shit without him and put another comedian in his place. I think before we went on air, I think J Doug alluded to like somebody like DC Young Fly that they can get him to host it or something like that. I think a certain amount of people will still watch.
But when Nick was fired for what he was fired for, that is a time where we, and I say we, I mean black people, should come, like literally, I know it sounds so cliche, but goddamn, come together. Like to go, yeah, I'm finna be the new for DC to be like, I'm finna be the new host of Wild 'N Out. That shit gonna be corny as hell.
It's gonna
like,
be
he gonna lose a lot of respect for that.
Yeah, it might be lame, but I think people will still do it. And then if that's the case, I'm not saying this was gonna happen, but I think if they own it, they'll still do what they gotta do. And when Chappelle said he wasn't going to do the show anymore, he did it for moral grounds. We didn't stand by that and not watch that or watch what they put in its place. You know what I mean? A lot of people still watch what was in its place. But once again, in Living Color, he left because of moral grounds with Fox. They wasn't treating him right, and he built that show up from scratch.
And when he left, what happened?
People still watched it, and Jim Carrey blew up. The person who blew up the biggest is arguably from that show was the white guy.
Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx is bigger than Jim Carrey.
Well, I think them bank accounts. We will have to know what's in them bank accounts. But I mean, Jim Carrey, like, and then Jim Carrey kind of went full on conscious for a minute. So, but at the same time, I feel like he, especially at a moment in time, he was the biggest. And then arguably Jamie.
At one point where he was.
Yeah, and arguably, Jamie lasted the test of time. A lot of people were great and lasted the test of time.
And then we talk about bank accounts. You can't just summarily dismiss what Marlon is doing. He's been making movies with his doing his own production, like throughout his own production company, not going to going to one of these big production companies in Hollywood. He's been doing his own thing. So like the money he been making, it's been going straight to him. Aside maybe that Netflix thing that he been doing, because he had a couple of Netflix deals he did.
Right.
With Sextuplet and the little sitcom he got on there.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you on that. Yeah, I'm not negating that, but at the same time, yeah, he has the production company, to produce the work. But at the end of the day, he's getting it distributed through them. So he's not in a position to where, you know what I'm saying? Like he's not all of the money coming in. He still got
when he did that the little haunted movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? I don't know, remember the name of it. He did 2 of them.
Okay.
Those were funded by him, distributed by him. That was him.
Maybe that's why I don't remember the name. That's fucked up. You know what I mean? But I don't
know what I'm talking. But you remember what I'm talking about, right?
Scary movies.
No, not Scary Movie.
Nah, it was something after that, right? Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to look into that, but like I said, if I look into that, I'm sure that he's still partnered with somebody in distribution. You know what I'm saying? But that's the thing we gotta own. We gotta own more than just production companies. We gotta own actually, film studios like what Tyler Perry did. We gotta own distribution and our people. To speak to your original point, if we're gonna rally behind somebody, we gotta be able to rally behind when they set up some type of distribution. You know what I'm saying? So let's just say, for lack of better words, a Black Flicks came out. We gotta support that shit. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like we don't overwhelmingly support when we try to boss up, you know what I mean, and create these.
But let's not act like the cable distributors who we have to go through, because that's who you have access to in certain areas. Is like they'll hide Revolt TV from us. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we'll have to jump through hoops to get Revolt.
Right.
And if we do have revolt, then we got to go to channel 921. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with that, but we still gotta take note and say it's out there, and we gotta support it. We gotta go look for Dame. I think Dame Jazz channel, his television channel, is only in like North Carolina or something like that. But it's literally like on a half channel. It's like if it's channel 20, it's like 20 and a half or something. But we gotta go to that channel. You know what I'm saying? We gotta support these things. We gotta say, all right, well, if they streaming over here, I need to go over here, because that's what ultimately will give us the leverage. And until our people match that, and then, you know, as our people and our so-called entertainers, you know, meet in the middle, and, you know, they bridge the gap, then we'll be in a good space. But until that happens, we still going to need their distribution, and that's a problem. That's a big problem. You feel me?
True indeed.
That's the only way we're going to rally behind anybody. Schoolboy, you got anything to say about any of that in conclusion? What do you think is next for Nick Cannon? I personally think that he's going to attempt to create some sort of a network. That's what I think as well. I think that's going to happen. But if we support it, that's yet to be seen.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what Nick's going to do next. Can you guys hear me fine, or is the sound muffled and stuff like that?
Now we hear you.
All right, cool. Because yeah, man, I got the back call. I had to get in the car and drive away. But long story short, I don't know what Nick's gonna do. I think Nick's gonna be fine. You know, obviously he made that apology because somebody pulled his chain a little bit. So he's not independent like he might think he is, because he was a boss in the morning and apologizing at night. So you know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is, man. You got to go ahead and pay homage to the folks who are signing your check. Like Jay said, it is what it is. I'm not sure what Nick's gonna do. He's gonna continue to do the singing show, because I think he's executive producer on that one. And I think Nick has found, as over the years, been very resilient. Even the fact that, remember, he had a rap career and actually sold albums, and don't nobody think his music is like banging like that, but he still did it. You know what I'm saying? He don't let people's opinion of what he does stop him, because he gonna get money regardless. Listen. That man's my hero for the fact. That man's my hero for the fact that we're about the same age, and that man not only married but had children with Mariah Carey. Goddamn. So, you know, like, we're not gonna stop his progress. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna watch and continue to be in awe of what he does.
Okay. Nick Cannon, if you come across this, we need distribution. When you said that, we'll get on the Nick Cannon network. That's a fact. Stephon, go ahead.
No, the Nick Cannon Mariah Carey comment kind of fucked me up.
That's a hero. He married Nick Cannon.
Salute that king, goddamn! Salute that king.
He's
doing God's work out here.
See, and that's another thing. Like you were saying, talking about something. Oh, he was a boss when he thought he was a boss, but he ain't a boss now. Like, I was like, damn, that nigga. I was like, J Dub really got to you, huh? I was like, this nigga, they got a Schoolboy out here on Jigaboo time, man. That's crazy.
Yo, no, the reason why I'm so irritated with Nick about that, man, is because, as Logic knows, I was going hard in the paint for Nick yesterday, man.
Oh,
I'm
I seen your
defending this man's name.
I seen your status.
You feel me? You see my comments too? So I'm going hard in the paint. You know what I'm saying? I'm defending him against my other Jewish brothers and sisters. They talking shit. I'm like, nah, Nick was right. He didn't do nothing wrong. And Nick was strong that morning too. I was strong with him. And then that night, I look back and he's like, I'm sorry. You know, the rabbi came and talked to me. And, you know, because in the morning, I'm a boss. You can't find no boss. And then we find out you don't own that shit. We find out you over here apologizing and kissing feet. Like, come on, bro. What did you doing? I was behind you. So, yeah.
I want to address one of those comments. Redemption Song 76 said his music was horrible. First of all, to act like that Gigolo didn't slap, you are just flat out lying. R. Kelly is a musical genius, and when he puts his thumbprint on a piece of music, it's gonna slap. You best to believe that. Oh yeah,
that was probably his only track though. That was probably his only track. That was
yeah, man.
Yeah, I didn't listen to the album.
I can't support R. Kelly in any way, shape, form, or fashion. You know what I'm saying? F-U-C-K, R. Kelly. I hope he burns in hell for what he's done.
That nigga ain't even dead.
I'm not a supporter of this man.
He's not even
Just
dead
because
yet.
I'm on this show and y'all keep bigging up He should be. Y'all keep bigging up R. Kelly. I don't appreciate it. I'm just letting everybody know. Fuck R. Kelly. You know what I'm saying? I hope he burns in hell.
Hold on.
Yeah. That's what it is. I know.
Let me absolve myself. That's not y'all.
Yeah,
What's the name of y'all studio over there in Florida?
Right.
Top Shelf Studio.
I mean, got a picture of a pedophile sitting in front of you the whole time you're talking. You should be ashamed of yourself.
That's
Why would I be ashamed?
That's Top Shelf Studio.
You gonna act like it's not a part of your culture?
It's not a part of my culture.
Well,
I'm
not
a
your
nigga.
culture. It's my
R. Kelly's
culture.
a nigga. Okay, that's your culture. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna spit on that shit because he's a pedophile.
I'm gonna get off topic. I'm gonna go because since we going there. Let's go there. Let's get on the petty shit, right? Because I'm not a nigga shit. Let's get into it, right? Because I was in the comments, right, and this nigga called himself checking me because I was saying because you were like co-parenting, and I was like co-parenting, nigga. You mean your baby mama? You were like, oh, I'm not a nigga. Oh, that's what niggas is. It's co-parenting where I'm at. And I'm like, okay, let's do that. But if you're not a nigga, then put a ring on it. Make that your wife. We don't want to have that conversation.
Just because you have children with somebody does not mean you have to marry that person. That's
it doesn't mean that, but just because you have a woman and just because you have a baby mama don't make you a nigga either. Bars.
No, but my point is the description of the person who you have a child with as a baby mama is disparaging. We know that.
No,
okay?
it's as much as I don't like that woman. It's perception.
Okay, well that's fine. As much as I don't like that woman, I'm not going to call her a baby mama because I think it's inappropriate. A co-parent I think is more appropriate as a descriptor.
All right, so let's wrap up real quick. So Mills Lane says Nick Cannon is going to sell original Hebrew brand. Let's get it, Nick. I'm here for it. You know what I'm saying? Get that money.
All about the Benjamins.
Get it. You know what I mean? So
we gonna get canceled.
We would definitely love to be on the Nick Network. Holla at us, Nick. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I gotta give a shout out. Oh, go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
Good.
I was gonna give a shout out to Sasuke Sama 6 as well, who hit the cash up. I really do appreciate that, man.
Fancy, salute to you, Fancy. That's my name for. I want to change the name to Fancy now.
I'm about to say I don't even know if anybody cash at me. I heard my phone go off, but my phone is recording, so I ain't been able to check it. If you did, God bless you.
Yes, we salute you. Thank you so much for your support by way of Cash App. And we spoke about the Karens going crazy. We spoke about them losing their life, job, and place of residence. And we spoke about Nick Cannon. We also spoke about Donald Trump's niece spilling the tea on his family. And we spoke about what else we spoke about? We spoke about the cop who shot another cop through his trailer park doors. And
trailer park doors.
We also spoke about a young lady who unfortunately, well, I don't think she's too young, but a black woman who was assaulted by a white couple. We're just gonna call them Karen and Ken. You know, they assaulted her because they said the temperature of the water in their hotel room wasn't up to par. So that's some fuck shit. And I hope that lady receives, not only I hope them people do a good amount of time in prison. I hope that she receives a nice check on top of that to deal with the trauma physically and mentally that she must have endured in that situation. And last comment says, Slim says, no baby mama, but you quick to call people niggas. That one was dedicated to Schoolboy. We're gonna let Schoolboy come back at that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I go hard in the paint for black people. You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing: every society has their negative elements. The negative element of black people are the N-word. Niggas. Like I'm not taking that word back. I'm gonna let white people have that word as a disparaging term. So if I ever call you my nigga, you already know what it is.
Oh, there you go. Words from Schoolboy. This has been the Morning Rant. I want to thank my co-host, Stephon, and Schoolboy. Thank everybody for being in the live chat with us and everybody who's going to catch the rebroadcast. We appreciate you too. P. Williams says, great show, y'all. Peace. That means a lot to us. We're growing organically. We feel the love. We respect you. We respect your time. And we're going to go out on this note and play a song, fucking Esquire, dedicated to police and police brutality. Salute the Redemption song. I see you, Mills Lane. Thanks for checking in today. That means a lot to us. And, you know, peace. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. And salute.
Hey, Logic.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
One last thing. Auntie Clemmy blessed the Cash App earlier this week or last week, and I just wanted to say I appreciate that as well.
Yes.
So listen, man, if y'all give me the Cash App, I'm gonna go ahead and shout y'all out without reserve.
Yes, salute to Auntie Clemmy. She held me down as well. Slim says salute as well. Redemption song. I think I said that. Says salute. Yeah, salute to you all. This is Burn Baby Burn by Mr. Motherfucking Esquire, dedicated to all crooked cops. Let's get it.
A body's always dropping, and all our babies watching. They chase him down and blocked him off and locked him while they shot him. First they chased us down, locked up the profit off of cotton, and they chased us down, hung us up, and smiled while someone shot it. The universe is listening, but the devil's always. A body's always dropping, and all our babies watching. They chased him down and blocked him off and locked him while they shot him. First they chased us down, locked us up, the profit off of cotton, and they chased us down, hung us up, and smiled while someone shot it. The universe is listening, but the devil's always plotting. So your prayers ain't loud enough because he only talks in violence. A secret code of silence that they use to maintain dominance. Those votes don't come with bullets, so tell Biden, fuck up out of it. If a nigga take your chain, you go kill him. In the streets, that's crystal clear. Massa put them chains on you, give you 100 years. The heaviest chains be the ones that you can see there. The ice so cold, blind your third eyes, optics, American pie a la mode, and everybody's riding. They shot him on his couch while he was eating Haagen-Dazs. They even shot her in her sleep, and she was out there saving lives. They shot Tamir for playing, he shot them just for praying. Then the cops went out and copped them Burger King with extra fries. The cops the KKK and they ain't even trying to hide. I went and copped the big AK and then I got it supersized. I grabbed my vest up off the dresser, laced my boots up extra tight, kissed my wife and hold my daughter, hope I make it through the night. But if I don't, won't go out bleeding, I'll go out squeezing. Just like Gavin Long and Micah X, they both have Valerie. When you shackled in the pressure, color justified your death. They yelling at you, stop resisting with their knee inside your neck. And that's just some shit that I'm supposed to sit back and accept. Fuck a check, ain't no rest until I get that cracker's head, nigga.
Flash that gat in your mouth.
The Klan no longer just wears white hoods and white sheets, but now the Klan wears black robes and sits on the judge's bench to rule from the courtroom. The Klan now wears blue uniform, carries a badge or a shield, and a legal quote-unquote weapon. 2 or 3 brothers so bad, I'm blind, I'm crip. Damn white men come, you throw the guns under the damn car, throw the damn guns in the bushes, he make 50 niggas stand up against the wall, nigga. I don't never read about no drive-bys at the police station. I never heard of you shooting at the police station and busting on a cracker while they eating Dunkin' Donuts. You ain't got the heart, but you'll kill your own.
Fire, nigga. I'm on fire right now, fuck, nigga. I had the biggest comeback, nigga. Niggas thought it was over with for me, nigga. Y'all tried to count me out, nigga. I ain't forgot about that shit. Y'all niggas think I forgot, nigga. I ain't forgot about none of that shit. So I'm back with a chip on my fucking shoulder, nigga.
Wrote this with my eyes closed, or rose and Moscato. Intuition, inner visions flow from out the cosmos. Niggas ask me how I made it, I be damned if I know. I just went with my soul, and the rest just follow. She's a good girl, fuck that bitch, I'd rather deal with dollars. Say no to cash app, I ain't tricking, bitch, you must be psycho. But I'm prone to lie though, just don't tell all my bros. I roll gelato in the Bronto, so I got the sky close. Damn, it's raining, grab my cane and pass my Prada poncho. The boots was leather with the tattoos, those the Randy Macho. Goggles, Ferragamo, condos big as Costco. I popped the rhino, then she swallowed like it's Mr. Sacco. Mirror, mirror, who's the illest? Please don't tell me I know. Mirror, mirror, who's the realest? Wait, don't tell me I know. Mirror, mirror, who's the rarest? Please don't tell me I know.
Modern life like Rocco, but I still pray to Shango. Mirror, mirror, who's the illest? Please don't tell me I know. Mirror, mirror, who's the realest? Wait, don't tell me I know. Mirror, mirror, who's the rarest? Please don't tell me